couple of times the students tried to call a special meeting, and board members that don't want to be impeached decided that they were going to call another meeting at the same time in a different location to try and draw people away. So the one in the AGM only officially needs 20 people to do its business. We need 500 people in Convocation Hall in order to consider impeachment. Yes. All right.
کجا باید بیام خط
این تجمع بسیج برگزار می‌شد اسم می‌مالم خوبی؟
I have been in the union movement for retired from the BC Government and Service Employees Union, chaired BC Federation of Labor Conventions, chaired political party conventions with about 2,000 to 3,000 people, chaired a provincial council of the political party with a lot of interesting issues that came and went over the years. I could get into that, but then of course I have to say what political party that was.
So I'll just leave it at that. I have a few announcements that I've been asked to read, and then in order of business that I
microphones in the front. One is opposed and one is in favor, pro and con. So that you would stand at the mic that would reflect what we miss throughout the afternoon, that we need to vote on that. So we need to vote on all these rules. Okay, I'm getting my instructions here. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, I got it. So, in other words, in front of you have the meeting agenda. I reviewed some of the rules, but you have the meeting agenda, and I told everyone here that we need to have a motion to accept the agenda as circulated, the one that you have here when you came in the meeting. All right, the question was about maintaining quorum. Thank you for actually reminding me. I want to tell you that in the beginning, before this meeting, I walked around the perimeter to just see what was going on since I was chairing the meeting, and I checked the various areas of the sign-in routine and how it was happening. I noted that your student card must be shown with your picture ID, your number gets keyed in, and that they have a constant quorum. I'm told just now that the quorum in this room is 710. I'm sorry?
What is that based on?
It's based on every one of you showing your ID and having your student ID number put into the computer, yes, with picture, of course. Picture ID and then number into the computer. So, all right, and I'm so sorry because I did go beyond what I needed to do here. We need to have the agenda approved. So, yes?
My name is Cynthia Murray. I'd like to move the result of the agenda of the special general meeting be adopted as presented.
11 seconds. All right.
On a point of order.
Yes.
With all due respect, I believe that the bylaws of the society require you to, at this point, declare this meeting out of order. This meeting was called by an invalid meeting of quorum that was not properly constituted, and so I believe that under the bylaws of the society, it is your duty to declare it out of order.
All right. I hear you, and again, I asked whenever I came here to understand how this meeting was called and under what circumstances. So I am told that there was a meeting of quorum that called on September the 22nd that then called this meeting. I have the minutes of that meeting. It appears as though 15 of 28 people were at the meeting when it was called, which was quorum for the forum meeting. And I see the motion in front of me that was passed with the minutes of that meeting, which declared this meeting.
Point of information, who called this meeting? Who called that meeting?
Sean Hunsdale.
Point of order.
Yes?
The day before the special general meeting, an email was sent out asking whether people could attend the meeting. A majority of people did not respond to that, so an email was sent out saying that the meeting was cancelled. Therefore, a cancelled meeting called this meeting, which makes this meeting clearly out of order.
All right, just 1 second, please. I want to answer that. There's nothing in the bylaws that suggests that the forum chair can unilaterally cancel a meeting of the forum once it's called. A member services officer has the power to cancel the meeting. So that meeting was duly constituted. Now I am being fair here, but we're going to take one question at a time, and then we're going to answer that, and then at one point we're going to have those answered, and then see if we can proceed. Okay? So yes, Mike.
My name is Matt Markey, sorry.
Okay, I understand there's another point of order.
You answered my point of order.
Thank you. Okay then.
Point of order.
Yes.
Matt Markey. I was wondering what the vote was, the count of the vote in that forum meeting.
Okay, we've got it right
out of the
here.
32 members.
Yes, no, I haven't, and I reviewed those minutes to make sure that I was going to be chairing a meeting that was a duly constituted meeting.
What was the vote out of 32?
Okay, all right. 35 in favor, 0 opposed, 2 abstaining.
Point of order.
Yes, sir?
It is my understanding the Simon Fraser Student Society, from the Simon Fraser Student Society lawyers, has a legal opinion that the meeting of quorum, that the chair did have the power to cancel it and that the meeting was out of order.
Thank you. I have again reviewed the document, and yes, there was a letter from that lawyer, and then there's a letter from the other lawyer, and I reviewed that information, and again, this meeting is duly constituted as far as I can tell. That's why I'm sharing it. Are we okay with this agenda, everybody? All those in favor, raise your hands, please. Hands down. Those opposed? The agenda is carried. Impeach Sean Hunsdale, I'm told. So I assume there will be Brian Jones?
Brian Jones?
Yes.
Be it resolved that Sean Hunsdale be removed as impeached as a director of the Simon Fraser Student Society.
Is there a seconder to that motion?
Point of order, point of order.
All right, yes, sir.
Matthew Markey. I would like to amend the agenda to put the grad autonomy motion and funding motion first and the impeachment motions last.
Yes, we're in the middle of a motion right now. It's been moved and seconded. So we need to deal with that. That's what's on the floor. So if we take, after that motion, then we can find out if your motion would pass, but you can't, you're in the middle of another motion, yes. Okay, and Brian, you can begin that speech.
Well, where to begin?
And you have 3 minutes.
I'll need more than that, but I'll do what I can. Mr. Sean Hunsdale has, as president of the Simon Fraser Student Society, accomplished something that has not happened in many years. By acting so completely outside of the bounds of the ethical standards of public office, he has allowed the Simon Fraser Student Society to achieve quorum at a general meeting of the society. His tenure as president has certainly been the most eventful in recent memory. He has seen that a 26-year-long employee, one with no record of wrongdoing, has been fired. Why? Well, it turns out that Sean has had a plan, even mentioning last year that he wanted this employee gone. And to what lengths has he gone to do this? Sean has, as leader of this board, seen that many bylaws, policies, and even the constitution of this society has been broken. He ensured that the firing was not agreed upon by the board, as has been past practice, but done in secret. He has spent tens of thousands of our dollars on improperly retained legal counsel. He has ensured that the collective agreement that the society has with its employees has been violated more than 20 times in the past 3 months. In the past 8 years, not a single violation was noted. Sean has helped to break the Societies Act that governs the SFSS and seen that the financial and personal information of thousands of students and employees was jeopardized when he stored our financial computers in what he described as a vacant residential unit. He has opened up this society to lawsuits by encouraging the slander and libel of this former employee, yet he has always maintained an arm's length so that he can never be held personally responsible. He has sent a threatening letter to the National Office of the Canadian Union of Public Employees, CUPE, the union that represents staff at the SFSS. In this letter, he threatened the future job prospects of staff. He has consistently lied to both students and other board members. He has helped provide people at the Canadian Federation of Students with contracts that were not approved by board. And as a grad student, I take great offense to the many occasions in which I have witnessed Sean show nothing but a disgusting disrespect for graduate students and the concerns that we face. He has tried to prevent us from obtaining the health plan that we wanted, and now has tried to provoke our health care broker into suing the society. If that was not enough, Sean is no longer recognized by the university administration as a student or as being eligible to serve as a director of the society. Sean is not a student, has not been for at least 2 semesters, yet he is still spending our money. For these reasons, I want to impeach Sean Hunsdale.
Your name?
Paul Browning. I rise in strong opposition to this motion to impeach. I consider Sean Hunsdale to be a fine, upstanding individual and doing an excellent job as president of the Simon Fraser Student Society. Back during the summer, there were some issues that came up. Due to the fact that there were labor issues, under the terms of the collective agreement, the board of directors and members are not allowed to disclose the issues. Therefore, action was taken and the board was unjustly attacked for not revealing what the reasons for their actions when in fact they were upholding the terms of the collective agreement that required confidentiality to be upheld. Hear, hear. Secondly, since then there has been accusations of improper acts and that, for example, Sean Hunsdale is not a student. I find this funny. At the first meeting on September 15th of the Simon Fraser Student Society Board of Directors, all society members had to present proof that they were enrolled in at least one course at Simon Fraser University either this semester or the immediately previous semester. At that meeting, every member present presented such proof. Therefore, I don't know where this slanderous innuendo that Sean Hunsdale is not a member in good standing of the society is coming from. Next, there are motions for impeachment. I would consider this to be largely politically motivated. It is an action by a small group of narrow-minded individuals to impeach the democratically elected representatives of this society with their own narrow political agenda to regain power in the Simon Fraser Student Society despite having lost in previous elections. Therefore, I would strongly urge the members of the society present in this room to see through the innuendo and false information being put forth by the so-called Students for a Democratic University, and I put that in quotes because I do not consider any of their lies to be true.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Clement Apat, and I'm here to speak in favor of the motion to impeach Sean Hunsdale. As most of you probably know, up until May 1st this year, I was the president. And indeed, I asked most of you to vote for the common sense slate. Sadly, this is the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. And I'm here to tell you to join me to correct the mistake that I was partly responsible for. I am here to say that Sean needs to go, not just because he has disgraced an office that I held and served proudly, but because he has lied to all of us and has done everything possible, including our own resources, to ensure that he and his team are not held accountable. How could you possibly accuse a 26-year veteran of an organization for stealing money when she indeed left a note and there was a witness to the effect that she needed to take $80 to attend a conference on behalf of the society? How could you possibly accuse a 26-year veteran of the organization of leaking information to the Grand Health Plan brokers that would have caused the Student Society to sign a contract which would cost us something between $1.5 to $2 million and perhaps get us sign a contract for 5 years, when in fact none of this group of 7 was ever at those meetings where we spoke to the lawyer. I was there. There was no information that had it could have possible given to Gallivan and associates that could have caused us anything. We all know that before the society enters into contractual agreements, first a draft contract has to be negotiated by a team put together by the board, mostly composed of students and staff. They will then circulate that to board members who will review this before a debate is held to agree whether to ink such a contract or not. And you are telling me that Hardy, who has no power, could ever cause the society to sign a contract and lose money? What a joke. I have to tell you this, if we do not clean our house of what I consider to be the biggest injustice, we would have no moral role to hold leaders at any level accountable. Please, let's do what is right. for the future of our school. SFU, next 40 years history, let it be recorded that students stood up to challenge and oust insensitive and undemocratic leaders. Vote and impeach Sean.
Voting. 75% of those voting. So we'll have the count when it comes back. You see we're way over quorum. We're going to have the count up here and I will announce that count. So is everybody clear what we're doing? We want your hands kept up until the counters tell you to put them down, or I do. We'll see how that goes. This is our first vote. All those in favor of that resolution, please raise your hands. So, one more? Okay, we're okay. I'm getting a sign. Okay, all those opposed, please. Okay. Hey guys, sit down, please, and okay.
Anybody in my section? I cannot see why. No, there really isn't, actually. Not one.
We have those? Are there any abstentions?
We have like 3 or 4
We're waiting. Are those abstentions? Couple at the back, we're okay. All right, everyone. Okay, I see the counters writing them down.
There's a counting.
Okay, everyone. The results of the vote. I'm going to go 13 abstained, and we have some names that need to be recorded in the minutes. 6 no, 724 yes. The motion is carried, and we will move along because we have a lot of business to go yet today. The next motion, it looks like, is another of the same that we had, and that is relating to Margot Dennett. Does someone okay, yes. Your name and tell us the motion.
Hi, I'm Brianna Turner. I'll start with the motion. Be it resolved as... It's not that tall, sorry. Be it resolved as a special resolution that Margot Dennett be impeached and removed as External Relations Officer and as a Director of the Society.
Got it. Okay, go ahead.
Margot Dennett has been the most vocal and instrumental executive in carrying out the plan laid out by Mr. Hunsdale. Unfortunately, rather than using her voice to answer student questions and respond appropriately to our growing concerns, Margot has repeatedly engaged in slandering the names of former staff members and in lying to the student body. On the very first day that staff were sent home in August, Margot lied to the graduate representative at large, claiming she was unaware of the whereabouts of staff and that the computers were being taken out for repairs. Since then, Margot's behavior can only be described as shameful. She has knowingly engaged in slandering the name of the employee that was terminated through the members' update. She has lied to board members and students alike. In an article published in The Peak, Margot attacked several students, questioning their academic records and even their personal relationships. Not only is this type of behavior shameful and inappropriate, it demonstrates a complete failure to address the issue at hand. Margot has repeatedly demonstrated that she is unwilling or unable to respond to students' concerns in a professional manner. Margot has also engaged in violations of the collective agreement. She has threatened SFSS staff members, telling the employees of the SFSS with whom they are permitted to speak. She has tried to coerce other board members into voting in a particular way and has prevented them from putting motions on the floor. Further, Margot has actively worked to exclude other board members, particularly the Graduate Issues Officer, or GIO, from gaining access to information and from having a voice in hiring the staff member who is directly responsible for resourcing the graduate students. Most recently, she has actively engaged in trying to dissuade students from attending this SGM by lying to and confusing students. I can only conclude that Margot Dennett is utterly uninterested in adhering to the democratic process which has put her in office. In short, Margot has been party to virtually every flawed process that the board has undertaken and she has violated agreements, provincial statutes, and the ethical standards of a public representative. Through her actions and her words, Margot has demonstrated that she has lost sight entirely of what is required of an elected
30
representative,
seconds.
and that is that she represents students. For that reason, I believe that we should impeach Margot Dunnick.
Thank you. Relations officer and as a director of the society. All those in favor of that resolution?
It's for impeaching Margot.
Okay, we're debating up here whether or not we need to do an entire count.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone is saying we do. Okay, keep those hands up. All those opposed?
Lots of
Treasurer and as a director of the society. Do you wish to have this counted with numbers? Okay, all those in favor? Keep your hands up. In favor, 10 opposed, 30 abstaining. I declare the resolution carried.
For impeaching Melissa Kelly.
Okay. The next resolution. We have 2 more of these resolutions and then 2 others, and then we're finished. Okay, the next resolution.
Be it resolved as a special resolution that Marion Pollock be impeached and removed as a director of the society. Since we're short.
There's lots of discussion and debate, so I don't understand this, but I hope you all do. And it's been read and discussed. So it's been moved and seconded. Would you like to say a few words about why you're moving this, and then we'll hear from the convoy?
Sure, very briefly. I just think that it's important that graduate students be respected. We have nothing against undergraduate students in any respect, but I don't think that graduate students have been respected in this way.
Thank you. The convoy.
Call the question.
Okay. Question has been called. Your name, sir. Call the question.
Jason Talkman.
All those in favor of putting the question? Those opposed? Question's being put. All in favor of that resolution as read? I'm not going to read it again. It was read perfectly. Hands down. Those opposed? It is carried.
Be it resolved as a special resolution that bylaw 17, section 1A be amended to add referenda regarding fees to be levied only upon undergraduate students or regarding the expenditure of funds raised through such fees shall be voted on by undergraduate students only. Referenda regarding fees to be levied only upon graduate students or regarding the expenditure of funds raised through such fees shall be voted on by graduate students only.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Seconder, a name? Okay, we got it? Good. Is there a discussion?
Call the question.
Are you okay with that, member? All right. You know what? You've called the question. We're going to call it. All those in favor of that resolution? Hands down. Those opposed? I think it's carried. Does anybody want to move adjournment? Okay.
I move that the special general meeting be adjourned.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of adjourning? Those opposed? Thank you, students. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. You were great. Thank you.
Thank you. Put it on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. Yeah. We're thinking about it.